Sony and the PS5 won't let you play PlayStation 1 and 2 games unless you get PS Now. What about the Xbox? Well, it definitely can. Let's have a look right after this. We love video games, we love all games, all consoles, but sometimes just having access to your retro games at your fingertips is what you really need. Alright, what you need to do first of all is to create a developer account. So, we're going to go directly to Microsoft's website. As you see here, click on Developer Program. Alright, we don't need this. Let's quickly have a look here. Alright, perfect. Once we clicked on the, well, we're in Canada, you pick your correct country, pick the individual option, fill out the form below, and let's move on to the next page. So that's our first step. There is a little charge, so we're going to put in our credit card credentials, sign ourselves up. For us, it was $20 Canadian, and that got us started. Now what we want to do is play all our retro games on one console. Alright, step 2 is going directly to RetroArch's website and downloading 2 files. There's going to be RetroArch and some of the dependencies that you also need to download. Alright, so we're going to do both of those, save those directly to our desktop, and then we'll show you exactly the next step in transferring that over. Alright, let's fast forward a little bit, get all these downloads completed and saved. Remember, there's 2 files, so make sure both of them are downloaded. Alright, let's use the magic of editing and fast forward a little bit so we don't have to wait for all these downloads to finish. Alright, so the computer portion is done for now. What you need to do is hop into the Xbox store on the actual Xbox itself. We're doing this on the S. You could definitely do it on the X, Xbox One, One S, any one of those. Alright, so we type in Xbox Dev and it'll come right up. So that's the one that we're going to choose. We're going to add that to our downloads. It's definitely free. Well, technically there's a cost, but we already took care of that on the PC. It was Canadian. It was $20 Canadian for us. It may vary slightly from that $20 depending on where you are, what country you're in. Alright, so it's downloading now. Let's quickly fast forward to the portion where it's done. And we're loaded up. What? It's already done downloading? What sorcery is this? Alright, let's open it up. Alright, here we are. Let's go through the process. Perfect. Yeah, we don't need this. We can just keep going. We'll just skip ahead. Now, we blocked out the code. I don't know if it's necessary, but you'll have a code that you'll have to remember and type that in on your PC to do all of the activation parts, of course, on the computer. Alright, so once that is done, your console will be activated and added into your developer account, giving you dev access on this particular Xbox. Hit the switch and restart, and it'll switch it to developer mode. Now keep in mind there's going to be 2 modes. It's kind of like dual booting, where you can load into your regular Xbox, play your regular commercial games, or boot back into dev mode, where you can only run the software that you have transferred over, which we're going to show you in a bit. Alright, here we are, logged into dev mode, and now what we're going to do is start transferring things over. But before we do that, there's another step. We have to go down and set up access to be able to do so. Alright, so where's that located? That's actually on the first page, the home page. Click all the way down, skip this part, and this is where you're going to go at the very bottom. Alright, so what you have to do here is you have to set up a username and a password that you're going to need to use when you're trying to access this Xbox and be able to transfer data over to it from a PC. So we just set up a little username, and now we're typing in the password. Username is local, password is multiplayer. And there we go. Moving on to the next part. Shouldn't take too long. It's gonna get everything set up. And there we go. Awesome. Time to transfer over some data. Alright, so we're back on the PC. We're typing in the address that was displayed at the bottom right. This is where we're typing in the username and the password that we created earlier. And there we go. Now it's time to drag and drop both of those files that we downloaded earlier, RetroArch, and now here is the dependency that we also downloaded earlier. Complete the transfer, and with the power of editing, here we go, fast forward to the final end result. Oh wow, so fast. Alright, on to the next step. Now, rather than going through here, there's a faster way you can access everything. Click on that little browse, copy that address, hit Windows R, punch it in there, press enter. It's going to ask you for the username and password, and voila, you have access to your directory. And that's where you're going to dump everything. Here we go. This is what it looks like. Pay attention to the folder names that we're clicking on. We're going to create one called System. Alright, perfect. And this is where we're going to drop all of our content. Hop back onto the Xbox, and like magic, there it is, RetroArch. Now go to the view details. We're going to change from app to game so that it has more access to the GPU and everything else. It'll just be better for what we're doing. Trust us. Alright, this is done. This is set up. Where are we going next? Time to sign in. So this is where you punch in your username and password, your email and all your credentials that you need to be able to add your account to your Xbox. Yes, previous accounts are no longer there. You have to re-add them. Now we had to cover up the little part where it shows the exact account details, with the Fedora. The next step is going to launch home and then starting up RetroArch. All right, there's a couple of things that we have to do. Number one, go to your settings. Actually, no. Let's go to Online Updater, do all of this first. You're gonna do core info files, assets. You're gonna update all of that. Controller profiles, cheats we generally skip, databases, overlays, all of this. Make sure you do them one by one. We're just flying right over them because we've already done the updates. Otherwise, you may be missing those icons and a lot of the essentials that you need to be up and running. All right. Next menu. Anything to change? No, there was nothing that we had to change here. Video output, making sure that's okay too. All right. We set ours to 1920 by 1080. You can change it to any resolution that you want. This is when it's running in full screen. We didn't really change anything except for the resolution. Again, 1920, 1080. This one we did change. Normally, many purists will prefer to keep the 4:3 aspect ratio. As much as we love video games, we don't like black bars. I mean, everyone has their preference. Some prefer you seeing it that way. We like 16:9, so everything is covered. It's not going to look proper. It definitely does look uglier because all the pictures and graphics and characters, everything is stretched. But we just don't like the black bars. So we do this pretty much wherever we can. Everyone has an option. Everyone has their own way to do it. You do it and set it up the way that you want. All right, so there's definitely a lot of menu options you can play around with. Here's one that we like to change it to, XMB user interface. It gives it more of that PlayStation type of look. There you go. That's what it looks like. It's hard to describe, but we don't like necessarily the PlayStation look, but we like the fact that, just the way that it's all organized rather than the other way. There's not too many user interfaces that are available. Hopefully, if there's other ones that are available later on, we can do those. Now, the reason why we have these thumbnails, we clicked on the download thumbnail option, and that's why they're all there. All right, let's play one of our favorites, a classic, Contra. That's right, you're watching Contra, Nintendo game being played on an Xbox Series S. You can do it on the X, Xbox One, One S, any one of those. Follow the steps that we mentioned earlier, and that's all you gotta do. Alright, let's skip forward. Let's hop into another game. Make sure that we have other consoles, other of your backed up games that you already own running on your Xbox. Alright, so let's close this and head on over to next one up, Super Nintendo. Here's a fun beat 'em up Final Fight. Nice. Alright. Oh yeah. Brings back memories. Oh yeah, nice. Well, it's a lot more convenient than having to power up your Super Nintendo or any other console, plug it all back in, right? Easy to just quickly hop in and have access to them wherever you go. Now it really changes the whole backwards compatibility feature that Xbox is offering, because you can really make it really backwards compatible. Now keep in mind, this is only for the software that you own, that you actually have physical copies of. Oh, now you will run into some problems like this. We did pick a different core than we normally use for Genesis. Some work, some don't. As you can clear, this one clearly has some sort of graphical glitch. So we're gonna close this and we'll show you what to do. We're gonna reset, or just set the core to a different one than the one that we used. Which one? Okay, this is the one that we know definitely works. Is this one? No, this one. If you're not sure, you can always just set it, try it out. If it doesn't work, change it. Not a big deal. Let's see if this is the best one. Oh yeah, look at that. You can already tell the logo's fine, everything's proportionate. Well, not proportionate, we're stretching the image. But you know what we're talking about. You know what we mean. It's not like the previous one where it was all distorted and it definitely wasn't working properly. Nice. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and now we're playing NBA Jam Sega Genesis Edition. Alright, let's skip ahead. I'm going to show you what else runs on this beautiful system. Now, one thing we didn't talk about earlier is how we able to quickly get out of a game and into another without having to shut down the entire software. We're going to show you. It's using hotkeys. So you saw us quickly go through the menu. I believe this is the one. Control. Yes, this is it. Pick any one of these. Pick the one that you think would be your best combination to exit out of a game. We chose to start for 2 seconds. So when we hold down the start button for more than 2 seconds, it brings us back to the menu. So exiting out of the game. It's a lot more convenient than having to shut down the entire RetroArch. And yeah, you don't want to do that. So set up this hotkey. It's definitely going to save you a lot of time. Back into a game. Let's check out Nintendo 64. Alright, so we just set the core. You may have to do this first time you're running some of these games. It's kind of necessary. Alright, here we go. Mortal Kombat 4, Nintendo 64, Xbox Series S. Sweet. Nice. Not exactly our favorite Mortal Kombat. Probably not going to play it very much, but hey, it's an option. It's there. Now, we love the fact that our Series X can play Xbox One games, it can play 360 games, and as well as the original Xbox games. But can the PlayStation 5 do this? Play PlayStation 1 games without using PS Now, which is a streaming service? No, unfortunately not. But the Xbox can. That's right, the Xbox can run PlayStation games. Not officially, of course. We're using DevKit mode, but hey, still kind of neat either way. And what better game to play than Gran Turismo? Remember playing this a lot. We'll definitely still load it up now, I mean, but there's the new one, Gran Turismo Sport. That's on the PS4. Slightly better graphics, but hey, the controller's still awesome on this one. I mean, it doesn't look that awesome, but it's still a fun game. Now, the last portion seemed a little choppy there, but that's just the way that it was captured, not the game itself. The game itself was running perfectly fine when we were playing it, and every other time that we played it, it's just the way the capturing using this card was causing some issues. But have no fear, you'll have a lot of fun with this. Makes it a lot more convenient than having to open up all these boxes, going downstairs, powering up the consoles, having them all in one location. Definitely awesome. Well, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoy. Take care. See you all in the next one.